Hi guys, this is Dan from Magic Pachinko Restorations with another short video on a vintage pachinko machine. Certainly if you enjoy watching these, please consider subscribing. There's a link below that you can click on to subscribe. My YouTube channel, I mean obviously you're at my YouTube channel, but if you need to find it in the future, it's youtube.com/@magicpachinko. MagicPachinkoRestorations.com is the website. And that's where you want to go if you have any questions about getting a machine restored, or perhaps if you want some help from me getting a machine restored. That's where you want to go. Use the contact me area. That'll let you input your name, your phone number, an email, and then you can type in whatever you'd like. You will get an automated response that asks you to send pictures if you're interested in having your machine restored. And when you do text those pictures, please identify yourself so that I know who's actually sending me pictures. I get quite a few requests certainly during a week's time for a variety of people asking about restoration. So it's if you don't identify yourself, I get a little confused, but I suppose that's just old age. All right, so here we have a really pretty 1971 or 2, I believe it's a 70, no, it's probably a 71 now that I think about it. Single shot conversion from a single shot load here to a tray feed here. And then this also has the front overflow as part of the whole redesign of this machine. So as the popularity of the single feeds waned, they started putting the feed trays on. This particular machine had been bounced around for a while. This upper hopper came to us in 2 pieces with a piece missing. It was in pretty rough shape. It was held together with black electrical tape, and personally I didn't think that looked too good. So what I did with this particular piece is I used epoxy to put the 2 halves back together, and then after the epoxy hardened, I went in and ground the epoxy as smooth as I could, and then I just cut a little piece of plexiglass over here for this chunk that was broken out. And then I found some primer paint that helps fill in a lot of the small scratches and stuff. So I laid into it 3 or 4 times with that. And then this is what I use if anybody is interested in knowing. This is Ace Hardware paint, and the reason that I use it is because it's super fast drying. You can spray something and within 5 minutes or so you can handle it, which is really nice, especially if you're in a hurry. So 4 or 5 coats of the white here. And then we also, this was very, very yellow, which is very typical of the white plastic. And this was yellow too, and there was a very color contrast here. And then actually the customer asked me about it, and he said, "Can you spray paint that white?" And I didn't even think about it at the time. So obviously we did. We were able to spray paint it white. So it looks good. This is just, there's only 1 tray down here, and the balls are not set up to come out into the feed tray. They come out down here. So all of the winning balls come out down here. So occasionally you just scoop them up, put them in the feed tray, and continue to play. So there's a mechanism in here. Actually, let me open this up so you can see it. So this is a slightly different ball handling mechanism. It's kind of heavy duty. And then it relies on this. So when you push the launch handle down, it brings this piece up and it pushes on a thing right here. You can see that. And that's what loads a ball onto the launch ramp. If anybody is working on one of these and you want to get this out of here, this just sits in the rails. You've got to take this screw out, and then you can push the plastic. There's a plastic piece in here. You can push that down, and that lets the locking piece out. Now, if you don't take this screw out first, you'll never get that kit out of there. Learn that the hard way. Okay, so this was a full restoration. This is an interesting playfield swap, and I don't really know the history of this, but this is the original playfield, and as you can see, it's very, very faded with the flowers, but it's also originally a white background. And when I went to reorder, this is now what you get if you reorder this specific playfield. I can't imagine that this was the original color. I think this was just an afterthought of Bill Cardwell, who does the playfields for us. So whatever, but the customer liked it, and I've done a number of playfields like this before. I like it. Got the stickers back in, although these stickers were in pretty rough shape, but I got the stickers put back in. There's a little bit of a nick out of the, I mean, this is a 50, 60-year-old machine. It's bound to show some signs of age. But on the back side, it is a pretty much typical Model A, with one exception, and that is this has the I guess you want to call it the Repay feature, which is right in here. This is the mechanism that does the Repay feature, and if you notice back here, you've got this lever here. So basically what happens with this is that, and how they did it with a single shot, I have no idea, but with a tray feed, you can launch balls pretty quickly. If two balls come in and roll down to the seesaw, basically at the same time, the first one will tip the seesaw and you'll get a payout. In the meantime, the second one goes into this holding chamber in here. And I believe it'll queue up 4 balls in here. And when you go to leave and collect your winnings, you push down on this, and that will pop a ball back so it runs into the seesaw and pay out. So if you had 3 balls stuck in here, you'd whack this thing 3 times and get 3 more payouts. It doesn't come into play very often at all. We didn't redo the wiring, but had to resolder a lot of the stuff because the wires just kept popping off. Put in the 12-volt system. Got it all cleaned up. It's looking pretty good. So when you load, oh, that sounded bad. When you load a Model A, depending on the year of the Model A, this one has the 2 brass pieces here that when they're open like this, the balls will travel and dump out of the machine. When they're closed like that, then it puts the 2 little tabs down here and keeps the balls in the jackpot chamber. That's what you want when you're getting ready to load the machine. Make sure these 2 brass tabs are not in that position but closed like that. So as always, you're going to start with a handful of balls. I'll plug this in here, and the ball out light is now on. Now what should happen, the balls will go from here across, down, into here, over to here, and stop. And that's exactly what we've got. Now when these are properly adjusted, this controls how many balls go from here to here. And that is determined, there, and they just stopped. That's determined by how many balls are in this tray. There's a weight transfer. So now the balls are not flowing down because there's enough balls in this tray for the machine to be functional. So you keep adding balls in here, and then it'll pull this down. It'll turn off the ball out light. Also on this particular one, there's a little flapper here, which is now in a position to allow the balls to launch. When this is empty and this is tipped up, it would lift this up, and it puts a little flap in the launch ramp area. I'll show you that when I swing the machine back around. That's not a common feature on most of the machines. So again, if you have 500 balls, 475 of them should be right here. And on the Model A's, depending on how tight this is, I'll put more balls in here to start. Keep in mind that any losing ball is going to come through the drain hole, which is right here, and back into this tray. That's why they call it a recycler. So the only other thing you check is your seesaw, and if it's tipped that way, this light should be on, and that would be the wrong way to start the game. So you just simply push down on the back side of the seesaw, which is the red piece. It lifts up and turns this light off. So now the machine is prime and ready to go. I'm going to take the handful of balls that we kept out and put them up here. And we'll see if we can get some wins. There we go. Never fails. Never fails when you shoot a video. Okay, so a ball went down through here. It opened the tulips and paid out. So now that the tulips are open, we should be able to get a couple more wins. There's a win. Another payout. Okay, let's keep going so we can hit them again. There's one. Okay, but this one was a big target. This is now a big target. Easy to win when the tulips are open. Occasionally, you just have to take these, put them up here, so that you can keep playing. If the light comes on here, then you need to take these and put them back in the upper hopper. So these every once in a while, you got to kind of help these feed down in. Most of the time they feed down just fine. I still can't hit that. There we go. Okay, so that's the, I believe, a 1971 Nishijin Model A single shot conversion to a front overflow. Hope you like it.